and we're just going to proceed from what we looked at last week. I'm going to ask Ross to stand with his right hand in front, just so that we've got view to the camera. But the fact of it is, it's quite likely to be his left that he'd do this with. We just want to open the picture up so that you can see it. So we're stood here like this, and what we were working on was that one coming in there and getting into here and getting into how you proceed from the irimi into your application. But what we need to do is to work from that, upping the ante little by little. And one of the stages that we want to go through is that this straight is now no longer always a jab. It's no longer always a straight punch to the face. Sometimes it's going to be a palm to the middle of your chest. Sometimes it's going to be a grab for your throat. Sometimes it's going to be going for your lapel. Fact of it is, I don't know what it's going to be, but I've got to treat it the same way. So we're here like this, something comes and I'm moving. Now you see, that hand didn't quite go right. Should have been on this side, ended up on this side. But I've got to be able to move from wherever it goes into doing whatever it was I was going to do. So we get this situation where you now have to start to adapt. I don't know what's coming. And if you've only got one thing that you get good at doing, so in this case I'm trying to demonstrate that I reach across this way, and this could be part of this movement, or it could be I'm actually doing a chop, or it could be whatever the movement is that you're practicing. You've got to be able to do it from whatever kind of situation occurs. This is why in the old days we used to say things like, you don't need 100 different kata, you need to know one really well. So, for instance, if my thing were Naihanchi or Teki kata, then I would practice doing the moves from whatever came. And then we need to adapt and adopt the same kind of regimen for what happens if it's a hook punch. So last week we started out by showing, yeah, we're going to enter that situation, we're going to stop that attack, and we work like that. But now it could be any kind of circly attack, which means that sometimes it's going to come in as a big bear hug. Right? Sometimes it's going to be a big rugby tackle or football tackle if you're in the States, where it comes in this way. Or if you're into MMA, we're going to do shoot and sprawl. Whatever it is, we're going to deal with sort of multiple round types of attack. And the thing is, I've got to be able to use whatever my technique is, whatever my kind of training leads me to, whatever my favourite kind of technique is, in whatever situation develops. So we're here, I'm going, I don't want to fight, and then something comes in, and I'm working for the same kind of position. So I'm going this way, but I'm taking that arm on the way to doing it. Now this hand's free, so maybe I should have kept that and still tried this. Now from here I should be able to win a fight. So we have to adapt and adopt, free it up a little bit, and then eventually you're going to get to the point where you start to mix and match and you don't care what kind of attack's coming in. You're just going to deal with your situation however it comes, whether it be straight or round or whatever's coming in. And the point is that if we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm doing something, I've let it go on too long. The point about any kind of self-defense situation is that we should be able to finish it, or at least save ourselves from it getting any worse in an instant. So when whatever comes, I've got to get myself in a position where I can now deal, where I can now control, and if I'm into grappling, or if I'm into joint locking, or if I'm into kicking, this is the kind of control situation I want to be able to do it from. So if I've got the greatest joint lock in the world, this is where we now go to apply, rather than trying to do it from where he's actually able to resist. And the reason he can resist is because he's not had one of those to take away his resistance. So please understand that this isn't a 2-minute exercise. This is the sort of thing that we'd need to lead on to bit by bit over months and months to try and get the message across and try and get people to be able to cope with whatever that shot's going to be. To have those flinch reactions that are going to take us inside, outside, slip the punch and all the rest of it. It can't be that you just dive into that in your first lesson, because the thing is, you're going to get clouted and then you won't want to do it anymore. So we build it, little by little.